if I tell people I'm a Villa supporter, normally they'll say, oh, I quite like Villa. And I hate that. I want people to say, I hate Villa.
So welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a great episode because we are talking to Rob about the team that I think he supports called Aston Villa. It's somewhere in Birmingham, I think. Anyway, he's going to talk us through what got him into design. I think it's important for those aspirational designers out there to hear from people who've worked at the highest level, just to find out what really got them into it. So Rob, tell me, what is it that got you into design? Obviously we've got loads of footy kits here, which I'm imagining must have been the kits that you wore as a kid, growing up. Totally. So was it all these things that?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess like we see so many amazing concept designers online, and everybody, it feels now, has an opinion on kits and new kit designs.
That's social media for your kids.
Exactly. It wasn't any different then, and the way that I got into my journey of becoming a kit designer was I was just obsessed with football kits as a kid. And I even remember the very first kit I got, which I don't have here. This was the second one I got, but the one before that was the famous Hummel one with the tiny stripes down it that they brought back for this season.
Yeah.
And I actually drew a number 8 on the back of it with a marker pen because it was, I was obsessed with number 8 because of David Platt. So a few of these have got the number 8 on the back. And that was the first time I ever kind of disfigured a football shirt.
Well, technically it's not, Rob, because you've obviously disfigured this one as well.
Yeah,
Do you
I walked into somebody smoking a cigarette on
Right,
the
okay.
for that
That
one.
must have been when you were a wee bit older, thankfully.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could tell from the size difference between the two shirts.
Yeah, true.
I'm not Benjamin Button. And so, yeah, it was. I started off with customising that one, if you like, and then would always just be drawing sneakers and football shirts all the time. I even remember at one point McDonald's did a promotion where they were giving away a pack of felt tips, and the felt tips had different nibs with would do 3 stripes in one and whatever else, and I just used that to do loads of different football kit designs. And then I started with a comic called Roy of the Rovers that people may remember, and so I used to Tipex out the kits and draw new ones over the top for that, and it just evolved from there until as I got into my teens, I still loved football shirts, but I hadn't drawn one for a long time. But eventually I found myself being drawn towards wanting to design clothes, went to study fashion at university, and then eventually figured out that actually designing football kits can be a job.
Do you want to learn from 2 veterans who've designed football kits for Brazil, Italy, Man United, Barcelona, you name it? If you want to learn from us, sign up today for our courses, Spark Design Academy. Come on, get signed up and get in front of those big brands right now.
If I think of this era, which was not long before I graduated from university, but certainly during the Reebok years of sponsoring Villa, we were given a project. I was in my first year actually, so it would have been probably 98, and we were given a project of design anything you want, for fashion, and one of the options was sportswear. So I designed a full home away goalkeeper for Villa, full training line, and we went in to do our critique with the tutor and sat in front of the class and presented mine, and I got absolutely torn to pieces. You can't design that. That's not fashion. That's not a job. And it was just incredible, especially given that 2 years after graduating, I was getting paid more than the person that had told me that I wouldn't make a living out of it.
Are you still talking to that person?
I'm not aware of their whereabouts anymore. There are some of my old lecturers that I'm still in touch with, but yeah, that isn't one of them.
So when you went through, obviously we've got an array of Villa kits here.
Yep.
And there's such a mix match of different claret colours.
Yeah.
Was that one of the reasons why you were like, to hell with this, I want to start designing football kits so I can start righting some of these wrongs?
Yeah, well, I think anybody who's seen either the videos on our channel or some of the other interviews I've done elsewhere will hear me talk really passionately about consistency of colour, and the badge should be the most important thing on the shirt and should be treated as being precious. And yeah, part of that is my experience of being a Villa fan, where we've always had things that it's felt were all right. They weren't quite good enough. You know, there's some quite nice shirts on here, but there's nothing that I would pull out. And if I wasn't a Villa fan, there's not much here I'd pull out and say that is a stone cold classic.
Yeah. So, I've got to ask the question. So basically, you got new kits. They're being done by Castor. What do you think of them?
Again, they're absolutely fine, that's been the ethos of, or certainly the aura around Villa for a long time. If I tell people I'm a Villa supporter, normally they'll say, oh, I quite like Villa. And I hate that. I want people to say, I hate Villa. You know, not because of how we conduct ourselves, but because we're winning trophies. And we've always just been all right. We've kind of bobbed along over the last few years.
You got a new logo, though. You got a new crest. How's that working out?
Well, I am not a fan of it. I was initially, as a fan of the club, I was invited to one of the initial consultations, and I talked to...
So were you responsible for that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wow. No, I mean, I talked passionately and at length about how when the club was born, it was all about innovation and uniqueness and aspiration. It was the founder of Aston Villa who invented the concept of league football, William McGregor. And so I was trying to get people into a place of, if William McGregor was running the club now, obviously assuming he wasn't 170 years old, you know, what would he say? What would he be looking for? Should we be looking to the past? Because when he created something, there was no past to look at.
Yeah, he was always looking forward.
Yeah, so what if that wasn't there, what would it be? And we didn't end up with that. We ended up with something that, yes, it's supposed to represent our original lion that faced the opposite direction to what we see here. And yes, it's the round crest that we wore when we won the European Cup in 1982. But it's all just old stuff instead of thinking forward and being innovative and aspirational. And the kit feels the same. It's, you know, it's fine. I quite like it, but it's not anything I'm going to get excited about.
So, guys, it's been again amazing talking to Rob, getting a bit of insight as to what got him into design. If you want to get into design, why don't you sign up for the Spark Design Academy courses? We'll teach you the 7 paths to success that we've taken through our industry, and literally the portfolios that we've ended up creating has all been down to those steps that we've taken. If you want to sign up, get signed up today. Learn from 2 of the pros that have been doing it for years, and we'd love to see your work, and we'd love to critique it with you and hopefully get that in front of some of the big brands that are out there. So why don't you sign up on Twitter, YouTube? You can sign up for our Patreon, and you can basically come have a chat with me and Rob directly every month. Get yourself signed up, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot.
Up the Villa?
Really?
Yeah. Really.
It was going so well until that point. Right, there you go. Done. Is that all right?